Okay, first off, let me just say I really liked your video. It's rare that someone actually manages to challenge my beliefs. Creationists don't get on at all. You did. And yes, I agree that faith means this is what I believe in without evidence. But you are confusing the terms evidence and proof, and this leads you to what I believe is a wrong conclusion. I'm gonna elaborate on that. Proof, without a doubt, is rare. We believe a lot of things without proof every day as humans. For instance, most of us believe in gravity, without proof, but with a shitload of evidence. There is a difference. In the case of God, and I'm referring to the Judeo-Christian concept of God here. Wait, let's just define what we mean by God, because obviously the Judeo-Christian idea of God is very different to the polytheistic idea of God in, say, Norse mythology with Odin and Thor and that shit, or in Hinduism, or whatever. But let's stick with the Judeo-Christian idea of God as the omnipotent, omnipresent creator of the universe. Now, what we have in this case, in terms of evidence, is a staggering lack of evidence. This can lead to one of two conclusions. Either there is no God, or there is, and he or she just doesn't give a rat's ass about the universe. Now, that last one I find hard to believe, because then why create anything if you really don't care about it? So I can see no reason to think that there would be a God in these terms. And I believe that. I have faith that what cannot be shown by at least some evidence isn't there. And yes, I use the word faith advisedly, because ultimately you have to have faith in the fact that everything you experience isn't some elaborate simulation. Which, by the way, is far more feasible than God, because that is doable with not much more science than what we already have. So you gotta have faith in something, because otherwise life is meaningless, it's not even there. And if you believe that, you're gonna end up some weird hermit or sitting on a pillar or some shit. Now, as for faith being something you're willing to die for, I don't think a lot of atheists are willing to die for the belief that there is no God. Some of us, maybe. Okay, better measurement may be, what are you willing to kill for? And I don't think you're going to find any atheists that are willing to kill for their disbelief. Some atheists, the less moral kind, like Stalin and such like, may be willing to kill for power. But that goes for religious people as well, so that's not really the issue. And atheists acknowledge that there is no information. We just take this lack of information as an indicator, as evidence in its own right, if you will, that there is no God. Now, you don't have to take this as evidence, but keeping in mind what I just said, I don't think that's logical at all. So yes, I do believe that logic gives me the high ground. And I believe that because I used to believe in the Judeo-Christian God. I used to be a Christian. And it was a long process, getting from there, via agnosticism, to atheism. And not until I got to atheism did logic start to prove me right at every turn, without having to resolve to various roundabout arguments. I think agnosticism is a weak logical position, because you look at the lack of evidence one way or the other, and you say, well, I don't know. I could argue that crocodiles fly by supernatural means, and only when no one's watching, and they know when no one's watching, so they cannot be observed. You can't prove that wrong, that's impossible. But you still don't believe it, not for a second. Why? Because the lack of evidence is evidence. That's really all I had to say at this time.